All right, this video I am actually afraid to do because I know so many women are going to be so mad at me for this. But I have a truth to tell about domestic abuse, one that most people are not ready for. But here's the truth, okay? Ready for it? Women are also domestic abusers, not just men. And the way these courts favor the women is actually really terrifying because I have seen my own friends claim domestic abuse or claim the victim when I've literally seen the way they treat their partner. Like, I've seen the way they treat their boyfriend and it's abusive. But then they'll claim that their boyfriend's a domestic abuser. I'm like, I've literally seen you punch him and now you're going to claim domestic abuse because he pushed you off. Right? Because these men are actually, like, sticking up for themselves. I've seen so many women beat the shit out of men. And that is, like, terrifying. And the fact that nothing happens to these women is, like, nothing should happen to anybody. Honestly, I think that people are getting the law way too involved in their personal quarrels. I think that you should just separate. And I'll share my story because I have been the domestic abuser and I've also been domestically abused. I've been thrown on the ground. I've been shoved. I've been abused by men before. But before that, I was the one who abused one of my ex-boyfriends one time. And after that happened, it was like things that led up to that. Throughout our whole trip, I stupidly brought an alcoholic to Vegas for one of my business trips. I thought I'd give him a fun experience. You know, I wanted to meet my people. These are my people. Like, come with me. Come build this business with me. And I brought him with me, and I said, please do not drink before the conferences. Like, you can get as drunk as you want. You know, on Thursday, it's a free day, whatever, woohoo. He got really drunk. He was like, had like shit in his lips, and we were walking around, and he was talking about selling his snowmobile and buying me a Tiffany's ring. And in my head, I'm thinking, I don't give a shit about the Tiffany's ring. I don't care about that shit. You do not know me. Like, I'm just like, I just want love. And this is not, like, this alcoholic shit was a turnoff. Like, I don't put up with that shit. I don't put up with addiction issues. I think that we're all addicts in our own ways, and there are certain addictions that I will put up with, like healthy addictions. That's different because, again, we all have addiction issues, every person out there. But his was alcohol, and it was destroying his life, and I kept trying to get him sober, and I could not get him sober. I did my best. He loved me so much. After this situation happened in Vegas, where I jumped on him and I was punching him and I was like, you want to have fun? But this is after he dumped my suitcase out and stole my Adderall and my booze, and he got really drunk before the conference and was like swearing out loud while people were on stage talking, and it was really embarrassing. And then just a lot of things led up to me using my hands and when I shouldn't have. So women can be the domestic abusers because I did that. I was that. And I think it's unfair that we can't talk about this publicly. Like, we can't talk about our feelings and our emotions and the way that things that we're affected by things without being scared that someone's going to come, like, arrest us because we had an emotion or an outburst or something. And people are being jailed for having emotions and feelings and being reactive. But none of us were taught as kids the right way to react to situations because we were stuck in school. We knew nothing. Like, we weren't learning anything about life. We were literally imprisoned and indoctrinated in these public school systems. So none of us learned how to control our anger. Like, even at 15 years old, I was throwing shoes at the wall, and I was angry, and I was throwing my phone at the wall. I was like a little fucking brat at 15. And I look back at the way I talked to my mom, and it was awful. But here's what I was doing. I was talking to her the way she was talking to me. And it was being mirrored back, and that's why we were fighting all the time. So with Avalani, as a mom, I've really had to look at the way I'm reacting to situations, especially when she annoys me. I have to think about, okay, she's not trying to be annoying, she's trying to be silly. I have to meet her at her level because she's brand new to this world. She doesn't know shit. I'm here to lead her with my staff, not spank her and abuse her and tell her not to hit as I'm literally spanking her, yelling in her face and shaming her for everything she does wrong. That's what happened to my generation as kids. Okay, we like literally lost all basic human rights, and now we're adults and we're like, what are we doing? Like, what is happening? We can't even afford to even live. And now you have people who are not domestic abusers being thrown in jail for situations because the courtrooms and the law and these Nazis are literally controlling every aspect of our lives and just doing as they're told. I mean, men are being arrested for trying to contact their children. What? This is the world we're living in? And it's because these women play the victim. And I've seen too many women in my life play the victim where I'm like, listen, no, I see the way that you treat people, though, and I no wonder why. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say anyone deserves anything, but eventually someone's going to get ya. Eventually karma's going to get ya. Karma will always come back around, which is why I decide, like, I fear karma. I just stay home. I literally just stay home. I play with my kids. We paint, we play, we act like kids. I'm being a good little girl over here. I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, that's how I started living, because I don't want to be out doing things that other people are doing, because I'm seeing the karma show up in their lives. And it's like, I don't want that. That's true, like, spiritual knowledge is seeing and being able to read your emotional energies. And that's what we've been stolen by, like, the church and stuff, is that you're worshiping a man without understanding your emotions and your feelings. Like, it's the mind, body, and spirit. It's the 3-in-1. You are the 3-in-1. You have a mind that's being governed by something else, not your own mind. Your own mind that tells you what your purpose is, tells you to do things, right? Tells your body what to do. And when your spiritual body is healthy with your emotions and your feelings, like, right, like, usually by age 7 is when you should learn this, but unfortunately a lot of people have not learned how to regulate their emotions, not even grown adults. And I just had to learn how to do this, like, recently. And I still freak out, and my daughter calls me out, and I allow her to call me out. When I was a kid, I could not call somebody out because I would get yelled at and shamed and be like, you don't say that. We all have feelings and emotions that we need to deal with, and the court's getting too involved with this stuff, and we need to change that. So anyway.